Hey gamers and retro enthusiasts, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the most iconic action games of the NES era, Contra. We've battled through dense jungles, stormed the enemy bases, and faced off against relentless alien hordes. But what happens when the dust settles and the final boss is defeated? Let's talk about the epic ending of Contra, and see how it wraps up this classic run-and-gun adventure. Contra is a classic action game developed by Konami and released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1988. It's a run-and-gun action game for either single-player or two-player cooperative. In the game, players assume the roles of elite soldiers Bill Riser and Lance Bean, who are tasked with thwarting an alien invasion on a fictional South American island. The alien forces have overtaken the island and are using it as a base for their plans to conquer the world. The mission is to fight through various levels, hard by the way, defeat the alien armies, hard by the way, and eventually destroy the alien leader. One of the most iconic and fun thing about the game itself are the weapons. The game features a variety of power-ups and these weapons, including machine guns, spread guns, my favorite, and laser guns. Players can pick up these powerful weapons by shooting crates that fly by them or defeating certain aliens. The game consists of several levels, each with its own unique environment and enemies. The levels include jungles, as mentioned, military bases, and the alien spacecraft itself. Contra is known for its high difficulty level, including challenging enemies and boss battles. Players have a limited number of lives and continues making it essential to master the game mechanics. Luckily, the game developers included a special treat for players when you found out about it, a cheat code, more known as the Konami code. Up, up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. It became an iconic in gaming culture and is often associated with Konami games. When and if you manage to get to the final boss, and you defeat the final boss, the credits go by. And at the end of the credits, of course, the game restarts. You keep your high score and you start off back at level 1. And one would think, whatever, it's just a game repeating itself. When in fact, Contra, very first Contra, the difficulty level does increase. The enemies shoot faster, the protective barrier that you might be able to get is reduced in time, the enemies are quicker, so there is a higher challenge rating, and it is well worth playing a second time around. Growing up, I had rented this game with my best friend numerous times. And quite honestly, I always found that two-player gameplay was more difficult than single gameplay. We died often, we couldn't sync together, one person would move forward while the other is protecting them, and then the other one would advance forward and they would reciprocate, but there was always mobs that would come from behind you and kill you, and then you would lose a life, and it was difficult. Fun. Don't get me wrong, extremely fun, but the difficulty level, as mentioned before, is quite something. Contra received positive reviews upon release, praised for its engaging gameplay, cooperative mode, and difficulty. It is often remembered fondly as one of the defining NES action games and continues to be a beloved title among retro gaming enthusiasts. You had various ports and sequels, as the game was ported to various platforms including the Commodore 64, MSX, and arcade versions. Its success led to several sequels and spin-offs including Super Contra and Contra 3 The Alien Wars. The franchise remains popular, with many fans and retro gamers celebrating its legacy. When all is said and done, after an intense and relentless battle through 8 grueling levels, you finally reach the end of Contra. The climax is nothing short of explosive as you take on the formidable alien commander in a final showdown. The game's ending is as thrilling as the adventure itself, and it perfectly captures the spirit of the 8-bit action genre. While playing as focused and as alert as possible, every single jump needs to be timed perfectly, Every single action and reaction has its own consequences. If you don't turn around fast enough to shoot a foe behind you, you might die. But if you do, the one coming and firing from the other side might kill you, and you might die. There is a level of frustration, and of course you start back at the beginning of that level until you lose all your lives. So, you just gotta make do with your skills at the time and constantly remember where things are, how they pop, and your movements. Not to mention also sometimes the control of the NES controller is finicky, where you might actually angle instead of going down, which could mean life or death in the game itself as well. But again, once you get to the end, and once you've defeated the alien leader and survived the chaos, the game transitions into a victory screen that celebrates your hard-fought victory. The classic music swells as the screen flashes, "Congratulations! A well-earned reward for overcoming the game's notorious difficulty." It was in the late 80s, after all, on an 8-bit system, so the ending isn't quite as glorious as video game endings of nowadays. But the ending does give a nod to the cooperative spirit of the game. Whether you played solo or with a friend, the sense of accomplishment is palpable. The game's final message highlights the resilience and teamwork that helped you conquer the alien threat, and it leaves players with a sense of triumph and happiness. And let's not forget the iconic Konami code again. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with using it to get to the end, to see the end. As the credits roll, we're reminded of the effort and creativity that went into making this unforgettable title. Until next time, keep gaming and have fun.